Hey everybody, I've got Morgan Dane here today. And as the church thinks about stewardship, the giving of our time, talent, and treasure, Morgan agreed to talk with me and for you all to hear about giving his time. So Morgan, thank you for being here today. So you serve as a ruling elder on the session. So tell us what it is like to serve as a ruling elder here at Market Square.
I would say that it's really cool. I love to see, it's always a great discussion, and it's like real leadership, seeing what's happening. And it's different from anything else that I've experienced. Like in a company, how you would have one person or like a board kind of, but it's still different. Session is just like a group of church members that are working together to do things that they feel is best for the church, and there's a real purpose there, and I feel like that's very inspiring to be a part of.
Awesome. Well, we very much appreciate having you there, and you are good about sharing your thoughts, and I know you're getting more comfortable doing that. When you were asked to serve on session, was that a surprise, and how did you decide to say yes?
It was a surprise for me. My first interaction with session was when we were doing the confirmation class.
Mm-hmm.
So we read out our statement of faith, and we read it to the session members. And I remember just being in that meeting and then reading the statement, and everyone there was so supportive of all of us youth. And then afterwards, me and my sister stayed around for the rest of the meeting, and it was just interesting and cool to see, because I never really knew, even growing up in the church, like how decisions really get made. Mm-hmm. So I got to see like what is really happening, and it was interesting. And then when I was asked, I wasn't quite expecting it, but I was like, well, I found it cool when I was at the one meeting, and I was honored to be asked. And so I was thinking about it, and then I was like, yeah, I would like to do this.
Nice. Well, and I remember after that meeting, your mom called me and said, Morgan really liked being there. He thought it was interesting. So that was really nice to hear. So I'm hearing you said yes, partly because you think it's interesting, and you also serve in other capacities on some committees. So how did you decide which of those committees to give your time to?
Yeah, so on session, we have to serve on at least one committee. And so I got the list of all the committees, and then it was hard just picking one. So I ended up picking two: Anti-Racism Task Force and Peacemaking Committee. And just from the descriptions, like those were the ones that I felt were calling to me the most. Mm-hmm. And so regarding their mission. Anti-Racism, the highlight for that one so far has been we went to a book event, and it was very nice to be just with members of our church, but also outside of the church. And everyone was there focused on the purpose of racial equality, and the speaker was amazing. So that was a great event. And then with peacemaking, when I first joined, I was kind of like, whoa, because I did not understand. A lot of the focus of the committee is on like the Middle East and very complex issues, and I had no idea about any of that. So through the committee, I've been learning about these very complicated but important issues that deal with religion and people and governance and so much more. So it's been really interesting. And then eventually I stepped up to take the minutes for the committee, and that's like another level, because now I really have to know what I'm talking about, because I'm writing it down, everything that we're discussing and agreeing on. So it's been quite a challenge, but a very exciting one.
So you are offering a lot to both of those committees, but especially to the Peacemaking Committee in terms of what you've committed to doing for them. So I'm grateful on behalf of the Peacemaking Committee. And I hear you saying that through the work you're doing with the committee, you are learning something.
Yes.
Are there other ways that you giving your time at the church is impacting your life? Maybe both good and challenging.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel pulled in a bunch of different directions, but for me, being at the church or at session or at committee events, it gives me the sense of community that is very important for me, and support, and knowing that you're not in it alone, or there's people to back you up. So that's something that I get from it, and it makes me feel good. But it can be hard making time for it, so that's a challenge.
Well, I appreciate that you have made that commitment, and having you in the youth group as well, and having your example for other youth is amazing, and for other adults as well. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.